All right, music fans, welcome. Harmless Dave back again talking about real music in real time for real people just like you and just like me. Well, a famous rock metal journalist has mysteriously passed away. And I use the word mysteriously because pretty much every article I've read has nothing about why he passed away. I'm talking about Malcolm Dome, who was a veteran heavy metal, hard rock journalist from the UK who had a very interesting sense of humor, and he conducted interviews in a very creative way, was never short on vocabulary. I've watched him several times and have enjoyed what he brought to an interview and his knowledge. This wasn't my wheelhouse as far as the music that I followed, but I did enjoy Malcolm's take on things. And what's weird is I've combed through a number of different articles about his passing, and he was 66 years old, which isn't certainly not ancient, right? 66. It says that he passed suddenly in a couple of articles, or really the commentary back from the people reacting was kind of surprise, and people didn't know he was sick. They were just, I guess, beside themselves because, again, there's kind of no lead up to this. And you know where I'm going, right? You know where I'm going with this stuff, because this is how I have been observing things lately, because that's what I do. I find this, again, equally mysterious. It just says the veteran UK writer died over the weekend at the age of 66. Now, if you just do a Google search into Malcolm, every single article that will pop up basically says more or less the same thing, whether it's Yahoo News, whether it's other publications here in the US, people mourning the loss of Malcolm Dome, because he was, again, somebody important within the metal community. People from Metallica reacting, Saxon, Fear Factory, Anthrax. Dome is credited with inventing the term thrash metal. So they go into his career, and again, there's not even a little inkling as to what may have caused his premature passing. My guess is in a week or two, or maybe in a month, we'll find out that this was just natural causes with no other explanation. And again, I'm more concerned about humanity going forward, that we're just going to pretend that something isn't happening when it appears to be happening. I just did another video about Tawny Katane, and they came out with all this information about it, and it didn't answer any questions. It tried to sort of debunk the idea that this could be because somebody did an activity which the government is coercing or mandating or encouraging, cajoling, whatever word you want to use here. And I think people need to be aware of that. And if this is truly happening, then guess what? It's a scandal. It's something that people need to investigate. But it's a blackout, and it's a weird kind of blackout, because very much like certain things that have happened the last couple of years, whether you're counting votes, for instance, there's no intellectual curiosity to find out why certain people view the last election in a certain way. Why would they think this, right? Why would they? Is there any evidence to what they're saying? We're just going to call it a big lie, right? You know, Joe Rogan does something, and the internet melts down. Joe Rogan does something, or Joe Rogan says something about something, right? And, you've got the narrative that no, Joe Rogan is using a product that horses consume, right? And it's not safe for humans. So stay away from that. That's what you're hearing over and over again. And look, one thing in this particular age that's very true is that people take stuff on face value. Either they're too busy or they're too lazy. It's one of the two. Those of us who are busy but not lazy, right? We decide that we're not going to just take what they're saying at face value. And when someone approaches me and says, well, why would they do that? Why would they tell you this and then have it be the opposite, like what you're saying? I don't know. Look at the Tuskegee experiments, for an example, for number one. But there are countless other things that either the media or the government has lied to you about, and they do it for your own good. Remember when we were told at the very beginning that you shouldn't wear the medical device on your face? You shouldn't do it because supposedly the emperor was concerned that there wouldn't be enough of them for the people who worked on the front lines in the medical community. That was his excuse for telling people a lie. Well, I meant to say that you should wear it, but I was just concerned that the hospitals would be a little bit short. They wouldn't have enough. So we just make up a lie. We just make up a story. And then you're going to trust after that. You're going to trust this guy to give you advice. Give me a break. Give me a break. And look, politicians do it all the time. Trump did it, I'm sure. I know people are going to probably call me out for that and say, well, Trump lied about stuff too to protect people. He didn't want to cause a panic or something like that. Okay, it's a lie. I'm not going to say it's not a lie. I'd rather be updated. I'm an adult. I'd rather hear the truth. And the same thing with this journalist, right? Because he was a true rock and roll journalist, a legend in some quarters. What happened to him? Did he do the thing? Did he not do the thing? I mean, because then if he didn't, these people could, exploit that and say, well, if Malcolm had done what he was supposed to do, he might still be here today, right? Well, at least we know, right? We know that that's what he didn't do, but nobody is honest. Nobody is going to be forthright. And just every time somebody passes away in the rock community, in the rock world, there's typically mystery to it now. And then maybe there's not, maybe a month or two go by and you hear the true cause, or you don't at all. There are several examples over the last year where I haven't heard any explanation as to why somebody is no longer here. But, when they can exploit it, I remember country singer Joe Diffie. He was the first death that was really high profile, where he got the thing. And then unfortunately, it sounds like he did the hospital protocol, which is real bad. I mean, the fact that people aren't like calling out this industry right now when they're posting numbers, telling people, trying to scare them to do the thing. But the more they post numbers to tell me their failure rate, I think, well, what kind of hospital is this? You're boasting of the fact, not boasting, but trying to scare people. But you should be trying to mitigate these problems, or you should be posting about your success. Like, these are the number of people we've saved, right? Or cured. And if one protocol isn't working, how about we try something else? Nope, can't. They won't let you. They won't let you, change it up. They got a flow chart and they follow the flow chart. So, or if this particular journalist had that kind of experience, it'll be a huge cover up. They will not let you know about that. I mean, all of this apparently happened over the weekend, last weekend. So sounds like a sudden thing, which makes me think that he might have done the thing, or maybe it was just a natural, good old-fashioned heart attack, good old-fashioned heart attack with no other underlying problems, just 66 years old. And people say this now like, oh, well, he was in his 50s, he was in his 60s. He didn't look morbidly obese or anything, right? I don't know what he does in his personal life, none of my business, but here's the thing. If people are just randomly dropping dead, right, and there's no explanation given, it's just, we're going to honor his life. 66, people are dying at 66 all the time, right? Not Keith Richards. Has he lived a good, clean life? No. So, I mean, Ringo Starr is 81, looks like he's reverse aging. So I'm just curious, is it something that I shouldn't do or I should avoid? And wouldn't it be a good lesson for some people to hear the truth and then make adjustments in their own life if, it applied to them, right? But again, journalism right now isn't about journalism. It's about protecting the narrative that's out there, protecting the status quo, and not ever admitting that what happened the last 18, 19, 20 months, you can't admit that maybe the fear and the chaos and the panic and the begging and pleading and making people do things that are against their religious conviction or just really their gut instinct. Let people have a gut instinct, I mean, the religious stuff, absolutely, but even the gut instinct, like, hey, yeah, no, I got a bad feeling about this. Well, you really need to trust the science and don't worry about your feelings. Okay. All right. No, you know what? It's my body, my choice, my life. I want to make that decision. I don't think the government should be making that decision on my behalf. And again, this guy could have been something completely, not attached to where I'm going with this. And I'm hoping it is, because then, I'll just say, I'll come back and I'll say, look, I won't say good that he's dead, but I'll say good. At least this wasn't part of what I think is happening. There's one less person that succumbed to something that maybe they didn't have to succumb to. I mean, that's really where I'm going with all this. And in a normal universe, we would just cut this off. It would be done, stop, reload, try something different. That's what we should be doing. But we're not. We're just plowing straight ahead. We got the kids are coming next. 5-year-old kids. Wow, people. Wow. So in any event, that's the video on this. If you were into this guy and maybe you know his work, and Malcolm Dome, if you're into his stuff and you followed, maybe there was something else going on that you might know about that I don't know about. I was not following him closely. I would see an occasional interview that he conducted, but that was about the extent to which I knew about Malcolm. So in any event, thanks for watching. Thanks for all the new subscribers last month. It was great. Also, Patreon, one of my best months ever on Patreon. So if you can help me out for this new month, I know we have typically a few folks that depart at the first of the month. They realize, my debit card's being charged, and this guy, he's not high on my priority list. I got to pay my bills. So if you'd like to support the work I'm doing here for $1 a month, $2 a month, whatever you can afford, that would be great. And we'll keep the channel going, and we'll keep putting out this incredible content, which is cutting edge, high tech, and really not, but it's just me, and I'm trying to have a good time as I do it. All right. Thanks again, folks. See you soon.